welcome to Math 87 Quick Concept. I'm going to just review a little bit on arithmetic. If you want something a little bit more in depth, you're going to want to look under 7, 6, and 8, 7 for just these different things. The first thing I want to do is just talking about what we call numbers. When you name numbers that you would count, they're called counting numbers or natural numbers. And the way you remember it, obviously when you count, you start with 1. And if you count, it's a natural way of counting. That's kind of how I remember. They're usually put in braces like this. Whole numbers add a 0 in there. And as you get older, we'll get into like integers and things like that. But these are just some ones you may run into in Math 87. So other naming, when you're going to be adding something, you have an addend plus an addend is equal to a sum. This is really what I want you to remember, that adding two things is a sum. Just like subtracting two things is a difference. They actually have names for this stuff, like it's minuend, and I'm telling you I wouldn't know this unless I was reading it myself, and Subtraction, because I really don't remember this stuff. But it is important that you know that sum means when you add two numbers, difference means when you subtract them, things like that. So just a little bit review on subtraction. If we said 5,287 minus 948, we'd make sure we lined everything up. When you cannot take from the 7, you have to borrow. You can't borrow from 0. I'm going to borrow from the 2, making this a 10. Borrow from the 10 now, making it a 9. 17 minus 8 is 9. 9 minus 4 is 5. I'd have to borrow again here. And so that's subtraction with borrowing. Again, if you want more in depth, you're going to have to go back and look at like Math 7-6 or Math 6-5, and I'll give you much more in depth information on that. Adding, if you're going to add really large amounts of numbers, just make sure you are lining them up for their place values. This is going to be 8, 12, carry the 1, that's 10, 11, 12, carry the 1, that's 11, carry the 1, that's 4. So this is adding. When you go to multiplication and division, division, of course, we'll start with it. It's got names too. You have a dividend divided by a divisor equals your quotient. You will have more of these in this book than anything, these kind of words. And keep in mind, so many people mess this up. This is where the dividend goes, or the larger number, divisor, or smaller number, and this is your quotient. And if you put it like it's a fraction, it's still divided by dividend divided by divisor is equal to quotient. So those are important that you know those. Sorry about my spelling. All right, so when you are multiplying things, you have factors. Factor times a factor is a product. Multiple ways to write this. You could say 4 times 5. We can say 4 times 5. We could say 4 times 5. Or if it's just two letters, you could say A times B. So multiple ways to write products. Just a quick review of multiplication and division. 164 times 23. You're going to start with the 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 3 times 6 is 18 plus 1 is 19. Carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3. That's 4. Okay, so that is just a review of just plain multiplication. Let's do a couple division and then we will stop. So this is 1234 divided by 56. We're going to set it up long. So 56 can't go into 12, so it goes into 123 twice. 2 times 56 is 112. I'm going to subtract. And then I'll bring down the 114. Again, it's going to go into that twice as well. And this time it's going to have a remainder of 2. So that's one division problem. Another one would be like $12.60 divided by 5. Remember with these, you want to go ahead and bring up the dollar sign in the decimal. 5 goes into 12 twice. 2 times 5 is 10. 5 goes into 26 5 times. And then 5 goes into 10 twice. So it's $2.52 for that one. And that pretty much covers our arithmetic review.